And then I seen this car. I seen this truck. And I was like, oh, this is beautiful. And I'm watching them describe everything in it. And this shit I don't even know about it at the time. But you know when you get a car and you like, this is my car.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, this is my car.
Yeah.
So I signed up I'm on set, right? And I'm in an e-tron, and I flip the back. I put the seats down. I'm laying in the back, and I'm talking to my homeboy Ayo Alatunji. Shout out to Ayo, and we like looking over this car, cause you always got a friend you about to do some car shit with that asks you the questions to make sure you don't make a dumb decision. Yeah. Women, y'all do this with dudes when y'all about to go home with them, and and I'm bidding. I had to sign up because I never bidded on nothing. Bring a trailer before, and it went up. And it hit past 50K, and I got mad. And I'm like, man, I'm just finna run it up. Boom,
oh, shit.
Boom, boom, boom.
Fucking
and
dangerous.
then I won, and I was like, oh, shit, I just won this truck for this price. And everybody's like, congratulations, you got such a rare thing. And I was like, I gotta go tell my girl this.
What's up, folks? Welcome to the Smoking Tire Podcast. Today's episode is brought to you in part by HelloFresh. Love it. HelloFresh is great. With HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. It is the most festive time of the year, and HelloFresh is here to make the most of every moment. From holiday hosting to dinners during busy weeknights, you can count on HelloFresh to deliver fresh ingredients and seasonal recipes. It's awesome. I love cooking. I love making dinner for my friends, for my family. But you know what sucks about cooking? Everything that's not cooking. Shopping sucks. Throwing away extra food sucks. Trying to figure out what to make, that sucks. And HelloFresh has variety. Over 35 recipes to choose from each week. There's something for everyone. You can choose from family-friendly, fit and wholesome, or vegetarian. Plus, you can customize your meals by swapping out proteins or sides, upgrading your proteins, or adding proteins to a veggie meal. Everything is pre-portioned, all the seasonings, the proteins, the veggies, so you're not wasting food. Sometimes you want to make something for your family or your spouse. You end up buying a whole thing of spices that you use for one recipe and then you never see again. What a waste. Not with HelloFresh. Everything is pre-portioned and you're not wasting food. It's great. If you're traveling over the holidays, HelloFresh has plans that work with your schedule. You can change your preferences, delivery day, or address in just a few clicks. It's great. The food is tasty. It's fresh, it's easy to make, and you end up making exactly the right portion size for the number of people that you're serving. Really, really good stuff. I love HelloFresh. So go to HelloFresh.com/SmokingTire18 and use code SmokingTire18 for 18 free meals plus free shipping. You got that? HelloFresh.com/SmokingTire18. Code SmokingTire18. Get you 18 free meals plus free shipping. America's #1 meal kit, baby. It's fire with HelloFresh. Guys, Harry's is back. I love Harry's. I loved Harry's razors so much that even in that period where they weren't sponsoring the show, I went out and I bought Harry's razors. I liked it so much, I kept using it during a couple of years, actually, where they weren't sponsoring the show. And it makes the great gifts. Giving a gift can make you look good. Giving the gift of Harry's to the men on your list can make them look good too. This holiday season, treat yourself or a loved one to a quality shave with the Harry's starter set. It's got everything you need for a smooth and comfortable shave, and a perfect gift to look fresh for the holidays and the new year. I love Harry's blades and their handles. The handles are really, really good. They're rubberized, so when you get them wet, they still have a good grip. The shave gel provides awesome lubrication. One of the things I learned this year is that when you put the shave gel on, you got to let it sit for a minute. If you go straight from gel to blade, It works. It works fine. But if you let it sit for like 4 or 5 minutes like they would do at a barber shop, you know, when you go to a barber shop, they put it on and then they sit there for a little while and it really absorbs in, and then you get the really slick shave. Love it. Harry's razors would be great for holiday parties. Don't want to look too scruffy if you're going to that holiday party. You got to keep it clean. Maybe you got a date. Maybe you want to look good for the wife or for mom. You know what I'm saying? I'd love to give a Harry's starter set to my dad this season. Since he retired, he's looking a little scruffy. And the starter set includes a 5-blade German-engineered razor with a weighted handle, some foaming shave gel, and a travel cover. It's a $13 value for only $3 if you use my link, harrys.com/tire. Plus, you can then schedule blades to be delivered whenever you need them. Each refill is as low as $2. Harry's new holiday gift boxes include premium shaving and grooming products in gift boxes nice enough to go right under the tree, no wrapping required. So check off all the guys on your list with a Harry's starter set. First-time buyers get a $13 value for just $3 at harrys.com/tire. And Harry's gift boxes, you got to act fast because these offers are for a limited time with limited stock at harrys.com/tire. Last but certainly not least, AG1 is here, Athletic Greens. It's a product. I've been taking it every day, and I started taking AG1 because I can't always eat the healthiest foods throughout the day. I wanted better gut health and more energy, work on my immune system because we got the tridemic. Is that what they're talking about now? It's like RSV and COVID and the flu, the triple-demic. It's fucked up. But we need AG1 to optimize. Now, this is not a vaccine, just so you know. It's not a cure, but you want your immune system working as good as it can move. And I hated taking pills and vitamins. I want a supplement that tastes great. Chug it down real quick in 10 seconds and be done with it. I've been on it for a few months, and it is great. It's got this sort of tropical taste. Have it right in the morning before my coffee. It is delightful way to start the day. Plus, I used to not drink water in the morning before my coffee. The AG1 also kind of forces me to drink some water, right? I have 1 scoop of AG1 in the water, 75 high-quality vitamins and minerals, superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens, plus you're drinking water first thing in the day, and water is good for you. It's lifestyle friendly, right? Keto, paleo, vegan, dairy free, gluten free. It's everything free except vitamins and adaptogens and all those other good stuff. It contains less than 1 gram of sugar with no GMOs, chemicals, or artificial anything while tasting good. It's affordable, less than $3 a day, and anyway, you're investing in your health, and it's cheaper than a cold brew habit, and they've got over 7,000 5-star reviews recommended by professional athletes and trusted by leading health experts. So right now it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements. So Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Just visit athleticgreens.com/tire. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/tire to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Last but certainly not least, get in our Patreon. You want to listen to our podcast ad-free? You want to listen to it the same day it's recorded instead of only waiting till Tuesdays and Thursdays? Do you want a optimized listening experience? And do you want an extra podcast every month? That's right, a 9th podcast every month. Then you want to go to patreon.com/the Smoking Tire Podcast. Ask us questions during the show and all of that good shit. Patreon.com/the Smoking Tire Podcast. All right, folks, our guest today is my friend Byron Bowers, a very talented stand-up comedian, really interesting guy, sort of a newer car enthusiast. Met him at a car show, helped him get some better wheels for his 997 Porsche, and now he has got the bug. He's buying overlanding Cayennes and driving press cars. My man is coming up. He's also an actor. He's a really, really talented comic. His new special, I cannot pronounce the name because I am a white man, unfortunately.
The first word is spiritual.
The first word is spiritual.
Second word is not.
The second word begins with an N, and I can't say it, and that's all right. But check it out on Hulu or Disney Plus.
Yes.
And it's very, very funny and very interesting, and we love having him out here. Not only on the podcast, I love just hanging out with him in LA because I get to see him a lot at the Cars and the Coffees. Byron Bowers is on the Smoking Tire podcast. Did you see the video of Elon Musk getting booed on stage at a Dave Chappelle concert?
No.
Oh my God. Dave Chappelle brings Elon Musk out on stage and he gets booed by a whole fucking stadium of people.
Why? Is he that?
Why did he brought him out just because he was there? Like, oh, check it out.
Yeah. It was just like a, hey, look at this kind of thing.
It's such a weird. That's a weird flex.
It is a weird flex.
It's a weird flex, like.
To be like, look who my friend is, and come out. And he's not a comedian, and he's not actually funny, and a lot of people hate him. He got booed, yeah. Damn. The video is awesome. Because to me, it's so clear that all Elon Musk wants is to be cool.
Yeah.
He's tried every way possible to buy his way into cool, but you can't buy your way into cool. And to have a whole stadium of people fucking boo you is just proof of that.
That's one thing that, I realized with some of those big boys is, first off, sometimes the billionaires don't accept it, which is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got a billionaire, but you're not in the real billionaires.
The billionaire of billionaires.
Yeah, the billionaire group.
Right.
So it's still a different thing once you arrive somewhere and you realize. That's like me when I walk to the Oscars and they look and they like, oh, they know. I'm on mushrooms. And I mean, that's why I did them, so I don't have to have those thoughts.
That's hilarious.
So
you did it intentionally
away.
to have those thoughts?
Not to have them.
Oh,
not to linger,
have
not to linger on it, but be present.
Oh.
Like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. Oh, you got good lotion on, and
wow. Mushrooms.
Small talk ain't good.
Mushrooms do that to you?
It makes you be present, yeah.
Really?
Not small amount. It can
I guess in a small amount, yeah.
Yeah.
I've only ever had the amount that's so small you don't feel it, and then the amount that you can't feel anything but it.
Yeah. I mean,
maybe I think I was heading
there.
Something in between.
I think I was heading there when I was looking at the ceiling during the ceremony and the beautiful lights and stuff. And then the background went dark.
Oh, shit.
It went dark, black, gray, and orange. And I was like, what the lights just changed. And my girl just like,
yeah, it's a stage show. That's what they do.
And then Chris walks on stage, and the rest is history.
Mm-hmm. That
was like, you could feel, I felt that in my knees.
Whoa, were you there for the slap and everything?
On mushrooms?
On mushrooms.
That's a fact.
And I was sitting behind the people from Coda, and they were deaf, so it's like when it happened, it's just so much happened in one moment, because you like, what just happened? And then everybody on this row started doing this.
Started signing to each other.
And they like,
wow, that is like, that's
everybody
a
else
crazy experience.
like everybody kind of doing sign language, like, what's going on? Was that
for
real?
a second? People were like, "This is the show, right? Like that's a gag, right?"
Yeah, we thought it was. We definitely asked, was it real or not? And they were doing it in sign language. And then at one point, we went to commercial break. My girl opens her phone
and it's like
Googled it, and Getty Images had a close up.
I remember that. I remember the photo.
Slap. And I kind of went like, how they get it so fast? That's an invasion of privacy. And it was already like trending.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Online during a commercial break. And then it was like one of those things like, man, nothing is private anymore, things.
Well, nothing on stage in front of 500 people that's televised is private.
And full of people that has been drinking the whole time.
Yeah.
Because you could go, it's an open bar. So, and then if you get up, somebody just fills your seat.
Yeah. Yeah. A friend of mine had that job. That's like an episode of Seinfeld where he does that. But a friend of mine did have a seat filler job, and he did say it was actually pretty fun.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Because you don't got to, especially for certain people, like I would like to do it, you just sit in for a while. Then right as you get bored, you got to get up and go somewhere else. And the crazy part is, this is where I am socioeconomically everywhere. they think I'm a seat filler.
Like, no, here's my ticket.
They come up to me and be like, yo, and I'm like, sure. And then sometimes I actually got up for a little while because I'm tripping, and it's just a part of the whole fun thing to realize.
They're like, hey, you can't sit here.
When the person
Byron
realized,
Bowers is coming back.
Yeah, the person realized that they messed up. Because I'm like, where you want me to sit? Hoping they're going to put me next to somebody more famous. You know what I mean?
Go sit next to Tom Cruise for a little bit. There you go.
Bail on your girl and go sit next to
really
like Sandra Bullock or something.
So, I mean, I always have fun with it, especially because it's your first time.
Was your lady at the end of the night? Was she? Did she go home upset with you for anything at the end of the night? There, or was all right.
Yeah, it was all right. I didn't do nothing to. Like, I just took just the amount, and then it started to go down.
Yeah.
For a second there, did you think that you were speaking sign language because they were, people in front of you were gesturing and you were gesturing? You understood
but I
the
was
Matrix?
kind of like offended because this is the second time. I had a joke about going to an award ceremony, and they put me at the table with the people that spoke sign language. And I'm like, nothing says you're not famous.
Man, that's cold.
Then people asking like, who the fuck is this motherfucker in sign language? Because you can't explain yourself.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you just sitting there and like, you just buttering your bread and like just trying to,
Pull up your IMDb on your phone and just point. You're like, I did this.
Man, it's crazy.
That's like when you go to like a wedding or something and they put you at the random assorted people table
I've
who
been
don't
there
fucking.
too.
I've been there a bunch of times.
I was in Israel, and it was one English-speaking table, and it was crazy because people was always like, so how do you know such and such? And I was there with my girl and her ex-husband.
Okay.
And the guy who brought us there is the guy who introduced her to her
the
ex-husband.
What?
So every time somebody came to the
explaining
table, it had to be explained. While we sat there, and it just felt like a weird,
that's crazy. That's like
cuckold
Spaceballs
situation. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's like my brother's father's sister's cousin's former roommate. And what does that make you? Nothing.
The one lady took off her. She had I can't get into that. It was weird though.
But I did one once where my wife was in the wedding. It was like her friends and I, so I'm at that table. Like by myself, like half the time. She's like all doing shit, and it was a random assortment. Yeah.
It was a version of that, but I mean, they funny stories. And the Williams sisters were right here, and I remember when Will gave the speech and he started crying. I remember I clapped and stood up, and I was like, I am happy to be alive in this moment, like to experience this right now. So I think that was the peak of the
Were you the only person to clap?
I don't know. I was engaged because it was such a.
And that was after, right?
Yeah, and it's such a thing to watch him battle and struggle through the internal thing. Sorry, and be present with that, and knowing that it's a hard fight going on inside between being the person, because in my mind he wrote the speech and he was gonna give a dope speech, but then the slap happened and he got this side that we saw for the first time having to be covered up by this other side that we've always seen, and it was just a fight during the speech, you know what I mean? Which we all go through those eternal battles.
But not on television in front of all those people,
And watching him break down because of that and everything, and just to be present for that moment, it just wasn't boring. It was such an exciting moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like when your car slide on the Cayenne and then you snatch it back and you like, oh, woo!
And then if someone immediately asks you math questions, like that's
or something like that,
like that contrast of emotions happening. Of like,
there's a lot going on there.
So
that's wild. On mushrooms. Fuck. Good timing.
Yeah,
you fucking nailed that.
That was my first time I was seeing the Oscars. And then it still was a hurtful thing. Like people was like, I equated to like the first time I went to the club and a shootout happened.
Oh shit.
And
the first time? How many times have you seen a shootout in the club?
It became a common thing where, you know, with guns will go, but you,
Seriously?
and the reason I say that, because you never go to the club the same way, right?
Sure.
All innocence is lost the first time you see a fight at the club or anything of violence break out, because now you know, like, this space isn't as safe as. So this time when I go to the Oscars, I'm gonna be strapped.
In case someone tries to slap you.
Because who knows, you know what I mean? I could have said, what if one of the colder people slapped me? For some reason, I said something, you know what I mean?
And then you can't explain to them you don't actually speak sign language.
Yeah, like, I mean
sorry.
deaf like DEF, not DEAF. But they can't hear me. I'm from the South, so my lips, they don't know mumble like that. And then it's just like, pow.
Oh, man. Wait, no, for real, though. How many shootouts have you seen in clubs?
I've been in a few where guns have came out. And especially when you're in Buckhead in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
I remember you seeing like 10 to 20,000 people run.
Yeah.
Wow. But I remember the first time it happened, I was off Memorial Drive at the Atrium, which is my home club, and I'm hanging there, and a fight break out. But it's one of those long, drawn-out fight when people like, hey, let him go. And there's somebody, mama came. Like, we still young, we like 18, 19. Somebody, mama was like, let that boy go. He had him on the ground, and he went and got a sign, like one of those parking signs.
Yeah.
And like hit him with it. Boom! And let him go, young man. Shut up, bitch. And they were like, oh. And then my car was like past them. So I'm like, I'm just here now.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, the trunk opened, and then it was just like an AR. And everybody just scatters, right? Running between cars. And I'm like, my car is like
On the other side of
so
the
I
AR.
go and I duck.
Past.
I duck. I remember ducking behind a car and like just staring to listen and to make sure the bullets, like I won't get hit by a straight bullet. Because that was a fear. Like I always feared just be walking down the street, get hit by a bullet. And then I seen two what looked like children to me come around the corner, and they pull out their handguns, and they was like, we ain't scared, we got something too. And I know I'm like, these guys gotta be 15, 16.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So, and they headed towards the action. And
that is a crazy mentality.
And then when I got home,
I'm not scared, let's go.
Yeah. So
I'm fucking scared, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
I'm low.
Man.
I know to stay low, and I'm still. Like,
Yeah.
I'm watching it everywhere people move.
Like it's a T-Rex coming for you.
Yeah, because you don't want to hit no, you know, if I was to let loose anything moving, I'm like, you know, so, but when I remember making it home, and I was like, man, you know, that was wild. And that's like one of the first times, because I think before that, only the cops showed up with their weapons.
Yeah.
We was at a party in high school in a big nice house, and somehow the cops just showed up with their flashlights and their guns, and everybody ran, right? And I remember shooting out of the back door towards the woods and watching like 6 or 7 people. We all shot out you know how they open the French doors?
Yeah.
And they just disappeared into the ground, because it's wintertime and it's Georgia, and this house had a pool, but it was covered.
Oh, shit.
So all the leaves were on the thing.
Oh my God.
Oh, no.
So it's like they just
dangerous.
went down, and I'm like
Like a bear trap.
Yeah. And I ran towards the woods, and the cops dressed in like gear just came out like, go home. And we was like, oh shit. And I met my homeboy and hopped in the Nova, and we was like, and to this day I don't know, because the guy said it was his auntie house, but I'm like, what if it was just an abandoned
Yeah.
house that we
How
was
you
all
could
in?
just say that shit, and it's
Yeah.
like just
And we
like,
like, sure, you know,
they just like broke into someone's fucking crib.
like, this is a nice house. What your auntie do?
Yeah, she's away a lot. That's what she does. She's away for the wintertime.
Yeah. That's fucking crazy.
Can I ask a question? So and this is not an intentional segue, but you know, your new special is about spirituality and you like discovering new sides of yourself.
Yeah.
So how come when you were young, like what do you think it is that made some people in your like neighborhood head to that, like, I'm gonna have a Glock, I'm 15, I'm gonna run toward gunfire, and you just kind of letting that go by and paying attention and not wanting to get involved?
I think it's fear of survival, because I had a lot of fear when I was younger. And my instincts, I remember listening to my instincts at such a young age and understanding what that, it was so loud. And then spending time getting to trust that instincts. Like, especially because you bounce around from different places in different neighborhoods that you probably shouldn't be in. But your instincts will be like, stop. All right, go here, make a left. Or you need to sit down for a while. And understanding how to trust that. And when I didn't trust it, what happened when I did.
Mm-hmm.
And building on that for years. But it definitely was a fear of survival. And being like, I was religious and superstitious. So that adds an extra layer of paranoia.
So you're afraid of ghosts and Holy Ghosts.
Both, you know what I mean? Or I remember not walking on cracks on sidewalks when I was little and like, you know, all these weird things, and I look back and I was like, man, I wonder if that came from the environment of not feeling safe or being a kid of a schizophrenic who might have taught these things. So it's a strange reality that I already lived in anyway, you know, now that I look back. So, but I remember being in church and like hearing like having my instincts when the preacher say something, everybody agree, have my instincts or, you know, look different. Like, because in church, sometimes people look at this guy like he's God. Right. But my thing was like, no, that's just a person.
That's just a dude. Yeah. Built person, yeah.
You know, they dick get hard like my dick hard. Because my dick would be hard in church.
If his dick was hard in church, you're like, doesn't everybody see this?
Hang on a second.
I know. That's how I knew. Like, this kind of this. There's something wrong. I shouldn't be here. Because they make you feel guilty for having these things, you know.
Yeah.
So, I think it's that and then sticking with it. Because it's a lot of not being cool involved when you have some type of whatever, I wouldn't call it discipline, but that type of conviction to not do something and go somewhere.
The survival instinct outweighs the desire to impress other people or to be involved in that crowd that's going to get into that trouble or get you in the wrong situation.
They're like, oh, don't go here. Don't get in the car. Or
dude, so much there's so many like serial killers that could kill people because they didn't want to be rude and be like, I need to leave.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I would help someone lift a chair in their van. I know I would. Yeah,
you know,
that's a problem.
This old lady, my mom's friend, was like, you know what I like about your son? He don't care about peer pressure. When he say no matter what they say, he's gonna say no. And I tell my lady that story every time she say that I'm stubborn.
Yeah.
It's like, this
it's weird that sometimes that's used as a negative, right? But it also keeps you from...
It's a blend. Spiritually, it's a blend. Now, I believe it's a spectrum. That's why I named my special spiritual nigga, and they wanted to cut the nigga part. And I'm like, nah, what if I slap somebody at the Oscars? I literally said it on the phone. I need both. So that something happens.
I need you to know that I warned them
that I'm on the spectrum. Yeah, that I'm on a spectrum of sorts. You see how small
Which,
the
of course,
phone is?
the special is on Hulu.
It's on Hulu
get it right now.
Owned by Dish. Shout out to Dish. Shout out to Mickey Mouse for allowing the niggas the freedom to say these things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By the way, it's so good.
Thank you.
It's so funny.
Thank you.
So interesting, and the way it is shot and lit, and like the setting, is, I would say, unlike any special I've seen. But
it's almost like someone was on mushrooms at the Oscars and had some thoughts.
I think did your girlfriend direct it? And like
we both was tripping on the when we shot the
It's
opening.
like out of the park. I mean, it's so cool. People need to go watch it. It'll look different than any special.
I had
I've seen.
a bad trip, honestly, to be honest, and I had to go into that probably on some other thing, but it was. I definitely, our goal was to take the shrooms and have this wonderful time, and then it just so happened to rain in the desert for one day of the week, and that was the only week we could shoot it.
Ugh.
And then the rain turned into snow.
Oh.
It was weird and trippy. And then we took the shrooms, and we was going for like a lot, and then we got a call that we had a death, and then it's like, action, and it's like, oh. So it would be moments of like acting, and then it'd be moments of like when they get a cut of just going down this hole.
You're like, oh, I have to think now? Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, you think about life, and the day before, like, I think it was something happened in Kentucky. I think 90 people passed about a storm, and I could feel that. while I'm in the desert and it's like it's raining, and now I'm in tune with like all these people that had lost.
When it
And
rains
having
in the
to be
desert,
strong for that.
it's like you feel like some Noah's Ark shit is about to go down.
Yeah, and it's beautiful at the same time. And I'm still trying to steal shots. Like, can we still shoot? Because I wanted to walk with my cousin in the desert. And then they was like, it's supposed to snow at 4 o'clock. And I'm like, why God? You know. But
And to clarify, so that you shot the intro sequence at the desert, and then the special was
in
recorded
Atlanta, Georgia.
in Atlanta at was it like boxing ring?
yeah,
right?
Decatur Boxing Club.
Okay.
And it's funny because I was like, this could have been a short film, like an indie film, the way we did it and how we planned it, and because there's so many like tributes to life and stand up in it, right? You got the opening, which reminded me of Eddie Murphy's Raw opening. Like they have an opening for a special, and then the whole boxing element to it, like because Pryor boxed and comedy is compared to boxing with timing and rhythm, and it's you versus everybody. So you take the front ropes off, you know, to symbolize some of these different things.
It makes a great stage, though.
It definitely do.
Yeah.
And I performed in one before. And the stained glass windows, which you could see on the side.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to do, the first time I performed in the boxing ring, I was in an abandoned church in Georgia. And I wanted to have that same element because I'm about to talk about church and spirituality, and I wanted people to be intimate and close while I take them on this journey.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It works. It definitely works.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
And how many people were there? It felt like 60 as an audience, or 50?
I don't know. It was supposed to be, we did 350. We wanted to oversell it to pack them in tight.
Okay.
And somebody put on the ticket that you had to be vaccinated. And it hurt. It just hurt. Because even my family was like, I can't get in. And I'm like, just show up. And I'm like, you can't do that in Atlanta with the mentality of the people and say they can't come because they're not vaccinated. Because, of course, they're going to be like, well, I can't go. Because that whole political thing was going on down there.
Yeah.
Even my conservative friends were like, I couldn't go. For different reasons. It's funny, everybody had different reasons. You know, some of my black friends would be like, they trying to put microchips in us. And then my conservative friend was like, that's unlawful to do that. Just government control trying to do that. So I'm hearing it both sides.
Yeah. You're like, look, man, come on.
You're like, I'm trying to shoot a special.
They're going to track you as opposed to the phone that you're carrying around right now that's tracking everything.
That's the part I don't understand.
Too.
And I was like, that's why I was like, you call my dad crazy? You know, the thing that these concepts or these ideas y'all coming up with, especially for somebody that studied engineering, we've been tracking you. and if you think if we wanted to do it, if I say we, a lot of my friends make weapons and stuff for the government, but if they wanted to do it, you think they couldn't find a way to do it in different ways? Your credit card tracks you.
Yeah.
More than your...
Watch one episode of Law & Order. Like, it's not hard. Like, you're carrying a tracking device.
A few of them.
Yeah. And your fucking browser history, between your browser history, your cell phone, and your credit card, I can reconstruct your life to the fucking minute.
To the T.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Every time you scan your card, they can tell you your age. They can tell you how frequent you shop. Just by your diet and what you buy alone. How much money you make is all built into it. Because people read those numbers.
They sell those numbers to other people.
Yeah.
That is the real thing. Anyway.
If I would have known that, though, I could have gotten that type of business.
You would have had 10,
in the streets. They tell you about
10 of those Porsches already. If that was your
they tell you about
business.
running numbers. You only hear about that, but you never hear about taking the numbers and really telling people how to pinpoint and sell more cheese to this person.
Do they still run the numbers?
I'm pretty sure they do.
It took me a long time to learn what running the numbers was.
Like how the lottery started.
They were the lottery
Hey, that's
numbers.
fine. I just because I just shot a show in Baltimore, and it's about a little bit about that.
Really?
And I had got educated like this is what the lottery became.
Yeah.
Once it was once they gentrified. What's the thing when they say appropriated?
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, they took that and made killing off of it.
Yeah.
Because when it was in those communities, everybody will have to come to those black communities and still play the numbers, right?
Yeah, like white people would play the numbers.
Yeah, they would
in the
sneak
black
in.
community. Yeah.
Like, in Baltimore, the Jewish people would sneak in on days when you know, and play the numbers. And now you think about the gambling houses and stuff that I hear about, and it's like, oh, it's a version of that where you have people who, due to religion or culture, may not shouldn't be in these places, find ways to get in these places.
Yeah.
And place these bets.
Yeah. And now,
which is cool because you gotta gamble. You already gambling going there, right?
You might as well try to
so they ain't gonna be like, hey, let me get $1 on the. No, they coming with some bread.
there's a dude I've seen fucking doing 3-shell Monty out on Venice Beach for like 3 months now. I don't know. I've seen him every day. I don't know how this guy fucking still out there, but he's got his shady little like fake customer assistant every day. Same person.
Same guy.
Huh?
It's the same person.
No, the
pretending to
customer is
play.
like the easiest person to spot too. It's like a black woman with like blonde cornrows down to her fucking knees. Like you could see her from like 100 yards away.
You just pissed this dude off.
I know, right? He's gonna come after me, fucking up his shell game.
Now she gotta get pink cornrows.
Yeah,
now.
to change
Gotta
the
change them every day.
cornrows.
That's how crazy the hustle is. So old, he like, yeah, just put the pink ones in today. Ain't nobody gonna know.
Dude, this guy's got a huge crowd every fucking day around this guy. He's killing it over
Hey,
there.
shout out to those street performers too, man. When I see those guys,
yeah.
I'm like, these are real performers.
Yeah.
I don't have the confidence to do it like on the street like that.
Especially
Yeah.
the guys that either breakdance or do acrobatics. Like,
Them are
they're doing
flipping?
acrobatics on the concrete, and they're getting the crowd
Come on,
hyped
man.
up. Like they have a whole system. It's really impressive.
I've sat and watched their show for the first time in a long time because my like 12-year-old niece and nephew were here, and we took them on Venice Beach, and they wanted to see it, and we stood there for like 40 minutes and watched their entire show. It's like, you know, yeah, it's hard work and shit, but they fucking hype. It's like 25 minutes of hype for like 4 minutes of dancing.
Yeah.
We're about to get the show started once we have $85 in this jar. They would do it in Jamaica in the grill. You ever been in the fucking the grill?
I've been to Montego Bay, and they thought I was from Kingston.
Was that bad?
Oh yeah. Kingston is the hood, and every search place I could get searched at, they definitely
really?
searched me.
Oh shit, okay.
Black on black. Shout out to the Jamaicans. Go ahead.
What up? No, there's this place, Rick's Cafe, where it's on top of a cliff, and it's like a 50-foot cliff to the ocean, and drunk-ass tourists can cliff dive into the ocean. But then they got these tall fucking palm trees going off the cliff, and these Rastas are fucking insane.
Yeah.
And they pass around the fucking basket, and when they get to like $100, this was 20 years ago, 10 years ago, it's probably $200 now. They get $200. Motherfuckers climb the tree and do like a 120-foot cliff jump off the tree into the ocean. And it's like, next $100, we're going to fucking go again.
I come up with a fresh coconut for you.
And they climb the fucking cliff back up.
Wow. Man,
it's intense.
Wait till you go to Cayenne.
Like the film festival?
In France, and you're eating in an alley, and you hear clapping, pow, pow, and then you coming in these muscular, you know, French people are thin.
Yeah.
These muscular black dudes come, and they all wearing Brazilian flags and colors, and they start doing flips and acrobats down this tiny little thin alleyway.
It's kind of cool.
And getting people to get money, and I'm like, how these niggas get here from Brazil? And everybody
they flipped across the whole ocean.
They like, shh, it's not about that. And I'm like, they definitely got some type of
Why does he
gym
sound like
membership.
he's from New Jersey?
Yeah, I'm like,
We got a gym
it's so
visa.
crazy because I don't know, you know, but I'm asking all these questions. And they like, come on, now let these guys do their thing, you know.
Stop asking so
These
many
buff
questions.
dudes. I'm always jealous when I see a buff person is like homeless or asking for money, and I'm like, how does this happen? Like, you got a full 6-pack, and like
A lot of time to do crunches and push-ups, I guess. I don't know.
I can't do crunches when I'm hungry.
I don't know. I'm just guessing. I'm taking a swing at
Yeah,
it.
you get your
Fucking
guesses
knows.
be off. Matt, I asked Matt what
They
was
usually
Baltimore
are.
known for. He was like crack, and that was a bit. But I was like, it's been. I was like, still like, it's been 40 years.
Baltimore's known for crabs.
You said crabs?
Yeah, is that Baltimore?
Yeah.
They have good
I thought
crabs?
you said crack.
No, also crack.
Yeah, they definitely got open air.
Also
It's
crack.
open air.
I mean, I've seen The Wire.
So it's a
Still though, but that's like
farmers market.
Yeah, it's still like open. They got like organic crack.
Yeah.
And they got it's like lavender crack now. It's like they really changing the game.
This is
but
bacon smoke.
It's hipster crack.
oh yeah, that'd be crazy.
It's pronounced crock.
Crock.
Pronounced Ritalin.
Lay crack.
Yeah.
I did a show and they called it lay crack, and I was like, oh, that makes it sound cool. French lay crack.
It costs $5 more though.
It's from pot to table. It's very organic.
It's from flat.
But the people are nice in Baltimore, but it's such a dangerous city. So it's so weird that like, and I didn't know I was in the South. Technically, they consider themselves. The
They
South.
do consider it the South?
They consider themselves. Cause they like the Mason-Dixon Line is right there, like Pennsylvania right there. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Wait, the Mason-Dixon Line is in Pennsylvania.
No, it's like that's the last. That's what you consider the North,
really?
right? That's what.
Where's the fucking? Can you find where the Mason-Dixon Line? I felt like Virginia was above it, but maybe I'm wrong. Is that something you can?
You could Google Mason-Dixon.
I feel like if you're north
what
of
Pennsylvania
Washington
is.
D.C., you're fucking north. Baltimore is north of 80% of Delaware. Where's the Mason-Dixon Line? Oh wow! It runs across the bottom of Pennsylvania.
So I saw that, and
you are fucking right. How
I'm
about
right,
that?
but I got mad. I got furious.
Wow, I did
got
not think
furious.
about it being that far north, right?
And this is why
Well,
don't
it makes a
counsel
couple
me.
curves here.
Don't counsel me, but this is why I got mad. Cause they only make films about Harriet Tubman, and she freed all those people, but she was right there in Maryland. I'm like, that's easy. I'm like, show me the nigga who went from Florida.
Well, in fairness,
And they like, don't talk about it.
when you had a horse, that was still a ways.
It was, but I mean, come on, man.
You can shit on Harriet Tubman. I can't shit on.
I mean,
Harriet
I
Tubman.
can't. People be mad I'm sitting on her, but still, she's already famous. She gonna be on a $20 bill. But
True.
that distance way shorter than I thought. So it's my fault for not paying attention in class. You know.
Bro, I'm 41. I just learned that the fucking Mason-Dixon Line is in Pennsylvania right now. I would have guessed it was. I would have guessed that.
You thought
like,
it was Wilshire Boulevard.
I thought it
Which
yeah.
basically Wilshire was a Mason-Dixon line at one point.
In fairness, I thought it was like below Virginia, but I'm wrong. It's on Pennsylvania.
Look, that's
How about that shit?
when they claim the South. I'm already like, nah. You know.
Do you think of D.C. as the South?
Nope.
D.C. is in the South.
But technically,
according to
it's the
this?
South.
Yeah.
They consider themselves
The South goes pretty fucking far north, if you ask me.
To me, yeah. Look at the rest.
There's a lot. There's like so much down there.
Now I see why Lincoln was mad. He was like, we need this property.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. So this 1738 Mason-Dixon line, according to this map, goes below West Virginia.
Yeah, this one is.
There's some
That's the
different-
same line,
There's
though.
some different Mason-Dixon lines. Okay, this is 1763 to 67. This map. That other map was
To
1767.
1967.
No,
Not as bad.
1763. Yeah.
That's
I
a
don't
joke
know.
because the show took place in
Oh my God,
1967,
people are-
and it's
we're
about
gonna
white
get
flight.
some fucking angry comments about where the Mason-Dixon line is. I see a couple that include West Virginia though, and Virginia is above it.
I think now we know why there was a war over
There-
there.
this-
Yeah,
this
that's
is
a lot of
confusing.
property.
Big argument.
That's a
could've just
lot of
settled
property.
this.
That's a lot of property. Because the South was really rich.
Yeah,
And I'm saying I got a bit about
all
them
that
boys
cotton and
getting-
free labor.
And then it went from cotton to something else. And I remember it was an argument, one argument said it really wasn't about the slaves; it was about money. It was social economical. Lincoln, they was building factories in the North, and the South argument was like, why would I pay somebody a wage $300 a year when I could buy a person for $300 and buy another person, and then they can have a child, and I just keep compound interest in these niggas. You know what I mean? I mean, they didn't say that, but that's how I look at it.
That is a crazy.
That's gonna be a
use of
bit
the word
later on. We're gonna
compound
raise
interest.
it. Yeah, I'm gonna make that a bit somehow.
yeah.
It's super offensive now, but this is just how I think. And this ain't got nothing to do with the smoking tire, and this is just for entertainment purposes only. You know what I mean? So I heard, that a part of it was socioeconomic economical too, because I mean that's a lot of land when you look at it.
Well, yeah, and free labor is a real asset to want to keep.
Yeah,
if you, if you happen to have that, you probably don't want to let it go so easy.
And they was like, "What's insurance?" And you know,
wages.
They trying to get it back. They trying to get that back now. So yeah, segue.
So anyway, cars.
That's how I do segue. Segue.
Just announce it. Shoot a flare in the air. Segue.
I want to talk about your truck because it's fucking sick.
Thank you.
I just saw it at the Goodbye Bills party a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
It is, go up at the very top, Zach. There it is right there. Look at this.
Shout out
All
to...
of a sudden, Byron Bowers is in the off-road Cayenne fucking game. Just real cool.
And it's crazy because that truck has been in more shows. They like, yeah, come bring it and we'll show it. And I'm like, oh, it just went straight to work.
I mean, you went from, well, you still have, you got this beautiful little 997 Targa, which I like. It's what you were driving when we first met. I introduced you to my pals at HRE who got you set up with a fucking great looking set of wheels on that car. It looks awesome.
Y'all should really HRE feature this on y'all's Instagram or something.
I'm sure when we go, you should come with me to the HRE open house in June and bring that, and they'll photograph it then.
Yeah, because that y'all will sell way more of those 527s.
Those wheels are sick. Yeah, they look awesome. They look great on a lot of different cars too.
And I remember the look when I first got them, and I was like, yeah, I want to go old school like this, and they was like, you sure?
And then like, this is really cool because you did some shit that I have not actually seen someone do, which is get rid of the old style 997 steering wheel and put in a 991 style steering wheel. Or is that, where does it steering wheel?
I got it from Macan.
It's a Macan, right?
Yeah.
It's like completely changes your interior. And you get, instead of those dumb Tiptronic buttons, you get actual paddle shifters, which is really cool.
Yep. Shout out to it's a few in the story I posted on my highlights. You could see the companies and stuff that I dealt with for that. Because
but you did it yourself though.
Yeah, but I had to get a wire. It's somebody make a wiring harness because I wanted multi-function. You could easily just swap out a wheel. Yeah. But when you were talking about putting in, you want your radio to work and you want the paddle shift to work, then you have to get
you had to get like some kind of module for the CAN bus.
I had to get a module for it, and then I had to get the not the steering column, but the
hub.
What's the thing with the ribbon inside, which I broke? I snapped.
Yeah, you broke it.
Something from the 997.2, the updated one, just so the electronics could communicate with one another.
Like a CAN bus thing. I don't know.
It's called. I forgot what it's called.
I don't know, whatever it is.
I'm bad with names. Thank you. Yeah, so it took a while.
But all the buttons and shit work.
All the buttons work, and most importantly, the paddles is which I really wanted. Because I would hit the buttons on turns. Yeah. And it would downshift and stuff. And I got to figure out how to do it for the truck also.
Oh, you probably can. It in the truck. You could probably get a newer Cayenne wheel.
They saying the hub is different. That's the only thing.
You need the wheel control module. This is your story.
Yeah, that's it from the
steering wheel control module. Cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. That make sure you stop the clock spring. They don't tell you why, but here's why. It can become unbalanced when you turn the steering wheel. You can snap your electronics.
That's what happened when I was driving. Everybody was like, "Make sure you tape this,"
That's cool, man. And so, all right. So you had this awesome.
All right, shout out to RS at Sublime. Just saw him yesterday at the car show. He went and it's crazy because I gave them the code. I gave them the exact way to program it. Because they was like, we don't think we could do it. And I was like, I researched it. It's right now. So all you got to do is follow these instructions.
Oh, cool.
And they did it and it worked. And they were like, oh. And I was like, yeah, y'all can start charging people for this now and make money off of it.
Yeah.
And they was like, cool. And here's your bill. Boop.
What did the steering wheel cost? Just the wheel.
I don't think it cost. I ended up spending way more than I wanted to. Which I hear you guys talk about a lot.
Yeah, that happens.
And it happens with cars.
Because we was going on a drive, and I wanted it done before the drive. We was gonna drive to Ojai, me and this group called Riff Raffs. Shout out to Riff Raffs. I'm getting a lot of shout outs today. And I wanted it done before this drive to Ojai through the Canes. And I'm ordering stuff, and then they like, oh, this is vinyl, and I'm like, oh, I need a leather horn. So I had to order it from Germany somewhere. So I had to pay extra shipping.
Yeah, like $100 to ship it.
To try to get it there in 2 days, and it didn't work. And then once I snapped the thing, it really just threw everything off. So I ended up just driving with the original steering wheel. But you're paying for time, really to save time on it. But I was like, as much time as that took, I could have just got it and did none of the rush shipping, and probably saved half the money. But I think around 15, I might have paid double that, like between 2 and 3.
But you could do it if you weren't in a rush for like $2,000.
Under $2,000.
That's worth it
if you
for that kind of
patient
car.
and you wait, because if you now mind you, if your steering wheel is gray or black, like a common color, then that's easy. You can get a steering wheel probably for $200. So I spent a lot on the actual steering wheel, because it's tan. And those, and then finding a leather tan airbag also is like rare. So
good to know.
Yeah,
don't try it on a tan car.
Well, you can. It's just take your time and give yourself, And I'm not, because my interior of my truck is tan also.
And it's fucking nice. When he showed me this truck the other day, it's a Cayenne Turbo S overlanding build. So already it's pretty cool because it's an S. And those are very, very desirable now.
Shout out to Adrenaline
rare.
Industries. They built it. I left their stickers on the car too for now.
Yeah, it's got a bunch of shit on it. It's got a light bar. It's got fucking a cool rack on it.
Judd Ease. I went to Mormon country. Judd had 1,000 Bibles in his office.
Get the fuck out of here, really?
It was a bunch.
I
was like, oh shit, I've been cursing the whole time.
It's got a winch on it. It's got cool wheels, cool tires. But then I looked at the interior. If you told me this car had 15 or 20,000 miles on it, I'd believe you. This interior is mint.
How many does it actually have?
Like 70,
closer to 80, like 74 or something like that.
It was shockingly nice. Really, really nice. It's a beautiful car. So why did you decide to go buy an overlanding truck?
Man, I'm in Baltimore and I'm watching. I'm saying, when you're away from LA, everybody having a ball. You getting your car built, you driving. He driving now. Car stuff going on every week.
My license.
People went to Germany to drive to the Nürburgring or whatever. What is it called? Nürburgring. I'm just gonna wait to say it better when I get there. And it was so much going on. And then I was like, and then I'm there, and then I'm not having nothing to tinker with and build, and I'm like, damn, and I started looking at cars. And I remember me and my girl went to Utah on a camping trip, and I was like, man, I need something. I like dispersed camping. And then I started looking at like the Subaru that with the boxer motor in it. It was one I found one for like $6,000.
Yeah, like an Outback or something.
Yeah, and I was like, man, this will be cool to just get it and it's a stick and I could drive it and beef it up inside. And I told my girl, I was like, man, what kind of car, your dad got? She got a Subaru. They say it differently. And then I was like, what do you think if I got one? That'll be cool, right? She was like, yeah, because my girl's not the car person, So I'm like, I gotta sell it to her to get her to do it. And then I seen this car, I seen this truck, and I was like, oh, this is beautiful. And I'm watching them describe everything in it, and this shit I don't even know about it at the time. But when you get a car and you like, this is my car. No matter what, this is my car.
Yeah.
So I signed up I'm on set, right? And I'm in an e-tron, and I flip the back. I put the seats down. I'm laying in the back, and I'm talking to my homeboy Ayo Alatunji. Shout out to Ayo, and we like looking over this car because you always got a friend you about to do some car shit with that asks you the questions to make sure you don't make a dumb decision. Women, y'all do this with dudes when y'all about to go home with them, and so make sure you don't get raped. I don't even know why I said that.
Same thing with a car, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a double thing. That's the reason I said it.
Same thing with a car.
But I was like, my budget is $50K, and I'm bidding. I had to sign up because I never bidded on nothing. Bring a trailer before, and it went up and it hit past $50K, and I got mad. And I'm like, man, I'm just finna run it up. Boom.
Oh shit!
Boom, boom,
That's
boom.
fucking
and then
dangerous.
I won, and I was like, oh shit, I just won this truck for this price. And everybody's like, congratulations, you got such a rare thing. And I was like, I gotta go tell my girl this.
It's a little more expensive than a Subaru.
And she built this whole set, one of these beautiful set in this hospital, and it's like hard work, and she in there working. And I'm with my homeboy, and then the assistant found out. He was like, "You did what?"
Oh yeah, there it is.
He's like, "You did what?" And then I had to tell her, and then I was like, "You know how the e-tron like battery be going down and stuff like that?" I'm like, "So I got a gas powered like family style vehicle that everybody can ride in, and it got 4 seats and it's safe and it's not that fast." And then she was like, "How much was it?" And I told her, and she was like, "You did what?" He just bought a truck on an auction for $70,000, and I mean she telling the set, and then I think 3 days later when she was making the joke about it, I was like, oh, she feel a certain way about it, and she was like, just walking around the house like, oh, you spent $70,000 on the truck, and I was like, oh, you really hurt, you really feel angry.
She just walks by and just throws it out there.
Yeah, maybe she feel angry about it.
You have to get her something real nice now.
Yeah, but she drove in it. She was like, it's fun.
What? Yeah. So
and now she don't want the e-tron no more.
So when she got in it though, she was about it.
She rode in it like we drove 3 blocks. And she like, it's fun, but we really don't drive. She don't like riding with me no more.
Because you're a little aggressive.
Yeah, it's aggressiveness, and when you on your phone. If you on your phone and doing this, it's just not. And I'm like, baby, you got to look up.
Yeah.
You got to be present with us and stuff like that.
Yeah, if you get nauseous in the car. So it's got like a big lift on it. It's fucking cool though, right?
It's Cayenne Turbo S.
It looks great.
Big lift, front bumper, winch, lights, roof lights. Got like a legit rack.
Yeah.
Does it have?
I was thinking about changing some stuff on it, like maybe the wheels and a few other things, and then once
again, too many
again,
spokes for me.
Yeah, I like
You get them a little chunky,
small spokes. Man, I want to drive to see the width because the width is perfect for because it don't do no damage.
Mm-hmm.
It don't scrape or nothing. Oh shit.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering like if I widen the wheels, will it actually start to scrape or will I?
You
I would need to take it off
want
road.
it to rub.
Yeah.
It looks that size wheel looks pretty good. I don't think I would necessarily change it,
especially if you end up doing like 4-wheel off-roading, and
that's why I got
it. You need that suspension.
Yeah. But like those tires, like those BFG ATs which are on there, they're pretty loud on the road. You can get a tire that will be just as good on the dirt and doesn't make so much noise on the road if you wanted.
To be honest, I can't hear you. All I hear is.
Does it have exhaust on it?
What do you mean?
Like, is it aftermarket exhaust? Like, is it loud?
Nope, they just cut. There's no mufflers and.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, there's no mufflers and the
So
pipes come out the side.
Oh,
so
shit.
it's like,
so it's really loud.
Yeah,
okay.
especially like even though it's not too loud, but
Yeah.
with Porsches they get loud when you get like 4,000 RPMs.
Yeah.
But by that time I'm like, because this is my first turbo car, and when I hit it, it's just moving like this on the road.
It probably just really fucking rears back and.
But it's not in sport mode.
Oh, there we go.
Wow, look at that exhaust. That is pretty cool looking.
That
actually.
is very cool. So
This thing is
And that's
sweet.
a nice garage. His garage looked like REI. I was like, man, your garage look like REI. And he's like, I used to work at REI in high school. But he's a professional skier, and he got like 20 sleeping bags, and he got like 20 skis, and he got electric bikes, and then he got motorbikes, and then he got like the boat. And
Yeah, if you don't have to pay LA rent, like that's the kind of shit you can do.
Man, he got a spray. And then I took his electric bike to the little dirt track. He got a little dirt track outside.
Oh,
and that
sweet.
shit.
This guy knows that for a Mormon. He knows how to have a good time.
He builds.
Cars.
Those are the cars he
builds.
builds.
The Unimog. There's a Unimog in the back of that.
Yeah, so this is a small car compared to the trucks he really builds.
Yeah. Did he take you out in the Unimog?
I didn't go in the Unimog, but
those things are crazy. They're good. This thing is a great time though. I wholeheartedly endorse this purchase.
Dude,
it's
disperse
great.
camping in a vehicle like this, it'd be so fun.
Is there a
we
rooftop
took it
tent?
out. No, as one
Stupid.
that I want to get. Yeah.
Nah.
Look, it still got the scratches on I left on there. So I wanted to make sure it was an official. It's not like a pretty car, a pretty truck, but it really could do.
I mean, from
what it looked like.
I mean, these are very close-up photos. From 4 or 5 feet away, you don't see any of that shit. But
that let me know it lived, right?
Yeah.
And like you can keep bringing it to adventures without worrying that it's perfect.
Yeah.
Look how nice that seat is, though. For 80,000 miles on tan leather, that's very good. Our friend Mike Burrows from a company called StanceWorks came over a couple weeks ago to do the podcast, and he brought his F-250 or whatever it was, and he had a tent on it that was really very low profile. It was good. It was called aero something or wind cheater or some shit like that. That it didn't make as much disturbance when you were doing 80 miles an hour on the freeway. I'll get the name of it, but I think that you'd really like. Cause
what is he, 20?
Huh?
What is he, 20? I'm older now. I need a double wide trailer when I live my.
You could tow one of those awesome like off-road trailers. They have those.
That is true. Yeah,
they're really cool.
Yeah, this thing has very good towing capability.
Yeah, it's got good power.
It's boosted. It's tuned to 620, so it's twice.
It really?
Yeah, it's twice as much horsepower as the car.
Sweet, bro.
Yeah,
nice. I'm into it. And is this your daily now too?
Yeah, it's been my driver. It's been driving
in Los Angeles.
It's got to be fun, right?
It's
and
fun.
The fucking roads are fucked up. It's great.
Especially, I went to the Peterson yesterday for Madness Walker's cruising, and it was raining outside. And when everybody was parking under the deck, I parked mine right outside.
Good for you.
So I had a leak. I had a leak in it from the sunroof that I had to go in and
it's
adjust.
It's of that age.
Yeah, it's of the age. I wasn't upset because when I got my 944, I had to trace. That was my first time tracing those hoses down and taking everything out. So,
what happened on your drive back though? Because I was watching your stories. You picked up the truck.
Yeah, you
shut
drove
off.
Back from
It shut off on the freeway.
Oh, that's bad.
And then my homeboy, I was with, went to AutoZone, and he got a code reader to see what was up, and we wrote it down, and he erased the codes because it was in limp mode. And Judd being nice was like, just take it to Porsche. I got it, And we went to Porsche and we couldn't duplicate it. And I was like, fuck, And they was like, just take it out. It's a park, I think Alpine or something, like 10 minutes from here. And we took it to the park and it was beautiful. Like we actually, the car stopped in the right place because it stopped within a mile of a Porsche dealer.
In Utah, what are the odds of that?
Yeah, the odds. And then you pull in the truck, and they like, we know this truck, because we like 2 hours away from where he lives, and
were you in like Salt Lake City?
Yeah, right outside Salt Lake City in a town with a weird name I can't remember, but the guy was Scott was cool, and he's from somewhere, but he like dunks, what was trippy. I'm like, you in Utah?
Donks?
He like
in
donks.
Utah?
No, he wants one, but he's in Utah.
He'd have the only donk in Utah.
I know. I was like, this will be weird.
Yeah. Tallest snow tires in the world.
Right? A donk in the snow? That would be fucking rad, wouldn't it?
But it only shut down. It only stopped, I think, once or twice. Once we got to, I think, Bryce Canyon, and we was climbing up a hill, and maybe one other time once I got it back. But I put my code reader on it and looked at it and got rid of probably some old stuff, and then I drove it hard because I'm like, maybe it needed an Italian tune-up.
Yeah.
And it's just been like...
Been fine since?
That did it?
Fine.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
How great is Bryce Canyon? I love
it's
Bryce
so
Canyon.
Look, man, and think, I was gonna say fuck the truck, but the experience, like on my shroom, like the reason I did my special the way I did it was to take people on this journey, because I think that's what the older we get and whatever craft we at, it's about taking people with us and introducing them. It's fun introducing somebody to these things, right? Like you took me to HRE.
Yeah.
You hooked me up with that and have the experience and going to this factory, and that's his favorite wheel. He's the first person, my friend, who had a HRE wheel on his 68 Mustang.
Oh, cool.
And he was like, I will never not use a HRE wheel.
Me either. Now that I especially because I know them now and how they make their shit, I'm not buying wheel springs.
Yeah, so it's tough. It's tough to see, and so he flew to Utah to meet me because I was like, it's a guy out there with this crazy garage, and he was like, I want to come see it, and we met at the airport, and he needed that break. He got 3 kids, and he never saw Utah before either. And didn't even know it was like 2 hours outside of Vegas, the parts we hit.
Yeah.
And how cheap the rooms are during off seasons.
Yeah.
Where you can go
cheap.
and for a few days, you know.
And it'll cost you like $200.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, man, you need to bring the family out here now.
Did you did Bryce? Did you do Zion?
I did Zion.
Yeah.
Everything, because I wanted to go to Moab. If the car didn't break down, I would have went east. So it probably was for the best, because I would have took a long
Utah's
detour.
big and Moab's out of the way.
Yeah. But I didn't.
You didn't go to, did you go to Goblin Valley?
I went to Canyonlands. I didn't go to Goblin. I went to the pink sand dunes, the coral pink sand dunes, and just everything's heading that way in south.
Yeah.
That I can hit, and then that park that's right inside the city where we broke down, which was beautiful, and we was able to take the car off road, and I'm like, and I'm hitting it, and it's like, gang, and he's like, nah, man, this ain't no Baja car. He's like, this a rock crawler.
Yeah.
He's like, let me show you. And then we went, and when he was hitting the controls, and the car was just driving itself, and he was like, this is a rich man's Jeep.
Yep.
He's like, they're gonna be jealous of you. Look how chill this is, and like nobody's foot on the brake or gas.
Yeah.
And it's just crawling over the thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn.
Comfortable off-roading is great. There's some people who like that, like really hardcore, like levers and like no doors and shit. I'm like, no, I'm gonna be real comfortable in here, chill, get into the campsite.
Because I know my girl, when we went camping, she rented a camper van. It had a kitchen in it. I don't like, that's too much for me. So I try to find like a medium, to where if she wanted to go, like I could put a tent on it and have something.
Yeah. Some like semi-comfortable.
Semi-comfortable.
Yeah, you get these cool racks that go in the trunk, whatever. Also, that like slide out and have a kitchen or have organization stuff. You can get real geared up.
I saw that. I was like, that's a bit too much for me.
You say that now.
Rent the overland trailer. Just rent it for a week, pull it around, and then give it back.
Oh, that's smart.
The move. Yeah, you can rent them shits. Pull up, Zach. Can you get a picture of Goblin Valley
State Park? But you don't need a bathroom.
Park?
Like I mean, we can have. I could build a shower.
Yeah, they have them.
With a little thing. Yeah,
they have ones you just hang off your roof rack.
And that's basically what they did.
Yeah, there you go. These overlanding trailers.
You don't need all that.
They have a lot of ground clearance.
Well, that's a really nice one. You don't have to go that crazy, but they have little teardrop ones too. Goblin Valley, if you haven't been, do you know what it is? It's in Utah. It's south of Moab, so it's on the eastern side of the state, but south. It's this place, Goblin Valley State Park, and just go to the images. It's
my God.
A bunch of mushrooms.
Wow.
It's a bunch of fucking rocks shaped like mushrooms, and you can walk among them. And it's fucking crazy. It is the coolest.
Wow.
I cannot recommend it highly enough.
So we just got to get to, and it's probably why I didn't go to, that part of Utah, because I maybe should save it to go with my lady.
Yeah. No, this place is really manageable. It's not that big. You can walk around the whole thing in an afternoon, and it's just the fucking coolest. And look at all those little stone mushrooms. It's the best place to eat mushrooms ever.
Yeah,
I have eaten mushrooms there twice.
I'm definitely going to do that.
It is excellent. Wow. And Zach, look at the picture in the winter, the snow. With the snow, it's awesome.
You rent a yurt?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it looks so cool.
Just be careful if you end up there in the snow, and it's like if you're like off-roading in the snow, it can get real slippery and sketchy.
Yeah,
like our friend Joey Seeley off-roads his lifted Cayenne, and he's very experienced at it, and he's had some very nerve-wracking times out there with his relatives.
Dude, I was one of my first times out there in the winter. I rented a Ford Expedition. I was in college, and I decided to go on this road to connect two places, right? And it was dirt, just a regular old dirt fucking fire road, like not hard off-roading at all.
What part of the world you was
This was in Arizona and Utah.
Okay.
And I was going from Page, Arizona to Bryce Canyon.
Oh, okay.
So I was going from the south north to Bryce. Yeah. And the road was called Cottonwood Canyon Road. And it was dirt. And I get it's 40 miles long of dirt. Whew. I get halfway
That's like
there.
60 miles.
And it starts pissing rain, and the road turns from dirt to clay, mud and clay. And I get the truck stuck.
Did you start sinking then, or you tried to drive?
I tried to drive. I got maybe a quarter of a mile, and this was pre-GPS, and there's no cell service out there. And I eventually the truck just sank into the clay, and we were stuck out there for like 7 or 8 hours until the rain turned to snow, and the snow froze the mud. And after like 8 hours, we were starting to go kind of crazy out there, and we thought we were going to have to like walk out, and it was like legitimately 20 miles. And we finally, we got stuck at maybe like 4 p.m. At like 3 in the morning, maybe 4 in the morning, we started to go fucking kind of stir crazy out there, and we were idling the engine to keep warm. It was freezing, so we were starting to get a little low on gas. And so my friend was like, if we're fucking walking, if we're going to have to do this, like, we're going to push as hard as we can and try and get this fucking truck out. And we realized that the snow had frozen the mud. And after like 20, 30 minutes of like pushing back and forth and like wrestling with it, I was actually able to drive it out. And we drove to the hotel, got there like 4:30 in the morning, covered in mud. And the lady at the desk was like, oh my God, what happened? And we were like, oh, we got stuck on Cottonwood Canyon Road. And she's like, oh, no one goes out there. She's like, only idiots and people on quads go out there. No, everyone knows that. And I'm like, thank you, lady.
Yeah.
Appreciate your help.
Well, now, sometimes in life, people, you have to go on these. You don't need to take shrooms to go on a journey
no.
and have your faith tested and come out the other side stronger. You know what I mean?
Well, now it's a real story, but it could have been sketchy. But yeah, like when you started talking about it raining and snowing in the desert, I was like, I have been there.
This how I knew the truck was strong. It was 104 degrees. It was a heat wave in LA. The power was going out. And Death Valley.
This was like the first week of September?
Yeah, Death Valley was closed.
Yeah.
And what's the one below it? Either way.
The Joshua Tree, Mojave.
Mojave was closed because I wanted to go through Mojave because they had flooding. And this truck, regardless of it shutting off, made it for me to get in a new car sight unseen, and a version of having faith in testing this thing, because that's when you really learn a car, when you're on the road. Mm-hmm. And it made it all the way to LA at 104 degrees, and I was like, oh, this pretty solid.
Yeah, Porsche cooling systems are really well engineered for heat. They do well.
Kudos to them, man, because I was like,
they do well.
Wow. And then I hopped in the car, landed Thursday night, hopped in the car, and drove to up to Newcomb's, Good Vibes, shout out to Good Vibes. And I was like, man, I didn't need another car. This 997 is dope. It's well built. What the fuck was I thinking? I was like, this car ain't even done.
Yeah,
you called Judd and it's like, this number cannot be completed.
But I was like, it's stuff I need to do to this car. Like, that's when I realized, I got 2 unfinished cars now.
At least you can drive them both, though.
Yeah,
this
that's
is
true.
Like not unfinished. Like,
but
and now you have a demo. You scored yourself a demo from Porsche. Nice little
shout out to
992 GTS,
RTTM and PCNA. For letting me hold the lava orange Carrera 4 GTS.
That's a nice car. You
very
first rolled
impressed.
up, I was like, oh shit, Byron's on a fucking spree.
He ain't paying his taxes.
I was like, this dude's on a fucking tear right now.
He ain't paying his
Matching
taxes.
the watch strap
I had to get
the car.
Get a little loud. Because, I drive cars that's not that loud because it matches. I feel like I could zigzag and nobody really know I'm coming. But this is like,
this thing is orange. Lava orange is orange.
And it gets brighter when it gets dark.
Yeah. Yeah, at night, it's really bright.
It's really bright.
Yeah. I just had last week, did you see that? Oh, you saw it. I brought it to Bill's, the yellow SL Mercedes. Yeah. That thing is like driving a fucking highlighter around.
I was shocked seeing you drive that. I was like, wow.
I look stupid as hell in that car. It's the wrong car for me.
It definitely is like it wouldn't even be a status symbol for you if you was like.
It's weird.
It's just, yeah.
And it was an okay car. Like, it's not had nothing to do with the fact that it's a Mercedes SL. Like, it's a fine car. But like, in yellow, that's the wrong car for that color.
I think certain cars depend on how we look. Like, I'm still like a slightly rugged, so anything that's too pretty, I don't think it'll look. It just will look weird.
Well, I can't ever imagine you buying a lava orange car. But still,
unless I put a bunch of like stickers and stuff on it to like take away from it.
Yeah, but like for a fucking month, you're not gonna be like, no, I don't want this one.
Well, that's what I said. Color. I was like, he was like lava orange. I Googled it. I was like, damn. Shout out to Gary Ferris. And I was still like, I looked at the stats and what was actually the power plant and stuff, and I was like, ooh, this is gonna be good.
Yeah, they're fast, huh?
Man, my neighbor got I think a 992 turbo.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna text him and be like, how? Because we would go to Good Vibes sometimes, and I would be driving, and he'll just be driving chill behind me till we get to the meet spot. Mm-hmm. And I want to be like, how the fuck you not mash it because I could not when the lanes open up, I could not mash the gas.
Yeah.
And it sounds good, and it's the way it shifts.
But now that you're in the club, ask them for the Turbo S next time, and you'll fucking be mind blown. You think this is? I mean, that car's really fast. The GTS is really fast. The Turbo S is what 200 more horsepower.
But do I really need it? Because I be looking at
it doesn't need it at all.
But I'm looking at the Sport Plus, like I don't need to go over here.
No, it doesn't need it at all. That's the funny thing. It doesn't make any real
and you don't feel
difference.
it really until above 70 miles an hour, and then the Turbo S just keeps going and accelerating from 60 to 130 the way most cars do from 0 to 60.
So wait, so you've been driving this 997 that we talked about.
I got picked it up Friday, so
it's lovely.
Yeah.
And now you get in this car. What is the biggest differences to you from your other Porsche that's 12 years old?
I think my dick grew 2 inches.
Well, that's an option, sir.
No, I think it does.
One of the rare things where Porsche adds something and charges.
Well,
for it.
I think it driving wise or how I feel in it, because now I feel like it's all eyes on me and like people really moving out of the way, but driving it and the way it sounds I'm like I want to make some adjustments to my car, but when you mentioned the wheel, how the back wheel turns,
the rear steer,
rear steer, I'm like I cannot make my car.
No, you can't do that
like this at all, because the way it doesn't lean on turns, like when you get on the freeway or you making a right turn, left turn, it's just crazy.
That's
to me.
right?
Yeah.
That's what keeps.
I mean, you could
corner.
modify your suspension to make the car lean less if you wanted, but it wouldn't be.
But
the same
it wouldn't
as
be.
This.
It's soft. This it's stiff and soft at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's PASM. It's Porsche Active Suspension Management.
And I have that in my car.
Well, but this is 12
I got
years
spasm.
later of development.
I got spasm. It's a little older. You know what I mean? It definitely makes me want to. Because at first I was like, man, I like my car naturally aspirated. They don't even make these motors no more. I was that guy. And then this is like the third day that I'm in it, and I was like, what am I going to do?
Someone at Porsche is like, exactly.
I was like, they got my ass. They seen it coming.
Yeah. What was the sound of the GTS that you liked or noticed more than your car? Because some people think turbo cars are quieter. So what is it that leapt out at you?
I mean, I have a button that I could turn the exhaust on a little bit, but when you in sport mode in this one, it's just like it's just groggy. And then when you hit it, it just shoots extra loud. And my car does that, but it's more toned down. I'm pretty sure I could change the exhaust. But at first I was liking my exhaust because it's quiet when it's quiet, and then when it needs to go loud, it goes loud. But now, I'm just like, man. And it's a car to get you home safe. This is a car for like 60-year-olds. Like got families that are gonna go out, and the car is like promising, like we're gonna have fun, but I'm gonna get you home safe in time.
Yeah, it's definitely, that's very accurate actually. I mean, it's a safe speed.
I did a set. I was like, man, I'm out. Bow. Got in the car Friday. I was like, I'm gonna chill. It's raining. It just started raining, and I'm in this car. And I'm like, I'm finna creep to the house. I don't know if it's gonna slide or anything like that. And I get out on Sunset. I raise it. First off, you can raise it up.
Yep.
Right.
Nose lift is good.
That's good. And then I made a left on Sunset, and the car was like, bloom. Hey, it feel like the road wet. Would you like to get in wet mode? And I was like, sure. And it switched to wet mode, and I was like, and it just drove normal. Cause Sunset is a very, if you don't know it, it's it's like being Brad Rabbit in the briar patch. So much things are coming at you.
Yeah. That it's bumpy and windy.
And bumpy, it's windy,
blind.
and you got Ubers who never been there before, and you got people from Riverside or whatever, Orange County that never been there before. So it's so much coming at you that you really gotta know the road. And I drive it so much that I'm like, I could go a little bit quicker on it. But it handled as if it was dry. Because I know the bumps in the road and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, this wet mode shit crazy.
Yeah. Modern traction control is ridiculous.
It's awesome. I mean, when you combine all-wheel drive, rear steer, PASM, wet mode, I mean, you've got every technology, there working for you. And it makes it easy to drive in all kind of conditions. Wait,
My girl felt
if you
safe
ever
in
get
it.
to drive one of those in the snow, like real snow, it's awesome.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's so fun.
Because I took my car to the desert one time that time, and I remember driving. It was full raining out there, and I was still doing 70. You could feel the water hitting the bottom of the car, and my cousin was holding on to the thing, and I'm just like woof, 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 and I swear we just like where everybody else came like half an hour behind us, like we was just moving, you know.
Yeah.
And you're following the tracks. You ever drive in rain before, and you're comfortable? And I'm like, trust me. That's why I had to tell him, like, I know the tires, I know the thing on this car. I'm familiar with this, and you're following the car before you who clears the water out for you, right? So I can't imagine, and that don't have no wet mode to it. So this 992 shit is like, and when you hear they say they nailed it with the 992s, or this is one of the best of the newer.
Yeah, they're great. No, they're great.
But
My only complaint about 992s is I think it's big, and I like the size of your car.
I agree.
But besides that, like, I got no fucking complaints about this car. This car's as good as a car can be.
And I like the size of the 70 RSs.
Yeah.
With the width and
man. Yeah, those are real small.
Yeah, so I like that size. So to me, that's my only problem with all of those series 991, 992 is that they big.
Yeah.
And the curvature of our cars is like starting to disappear.
They're making them a little more big.
Something.
Yeah.
And the front have more angles to them and stuff like
Especially
that.
if you park that car next to yours, or you park it next to like a 996, you can really see how the size has changed. Like, I got to go to the museum in Stuttgart, and when we see them out here, we see like a lot of the new cars together, but then I saw the generations like literally parked next to each other, and I went, oh man, look how tall the front fenders have gotten, like how round for passenger or pedestrian safety and stuff, and you really see how the cars have changed shape.
You know what I still look at? And I'm like, damn, because I was going to get it. It was between my car, the 996 4S. Because it's
They're
still,
nice-looking cars.
It's still, and you could get past the headlights to me now because the ass is just so beautiful.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know what I mean? It's like a regular like 996 with like ass shots, like a BBL. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're nice. They're nice. I like your car
The
better.
width-
I think you got the right decision, but that is a nice
It's the
car.
same.
Underneath, it's
yeah,
kind of the
underneath
same.
from what I hear.
Yeah, it's bodywork changes pretty much.
But I'm happy with it. When I look in the garage and I see the curves on and the color, and it just sit there, you know, and the wheels on it, and it's like I always hear people voices, yours and somebody else, like don't do too much to it, and I'm like, I wonder if I add a ducktail or this to it.
Ducktail does look cool.
Ducktails are kind of cool. I wouldn't go with some giant wing, but
No,
ducktails
I
are pretty
definitely
cool.
was thinking of giant wing, but
I think I might have
No,
talked
don't
you
do
out
that.
of the giant wing.
you know what? Also, the thing that keeps me from doing it is because it's not a 4S. Because
Oh,
I
yeah.
have a Targa and it's heavy.
Yeah.
Even if I take it to the track, I know it's just a heavier car. That some of that stuff won't even, to me, don't make any sense
It
to
wouldn't,
add.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna track it every like week or nothing like
It's
that.
a great LA car.
It's a good blend.
It's a great car for cruising around. It looks great. The interior is awesome. The wheels look great. Color's great. It's a great cruiser.
I'm gonna make it a little bit more hood though, just a little bit.
What do you mean more hood?
A little bit. I'm gonna add a little bit something to it.
All right. Well, it's your car. Have fun.
Because that's what I was like. I'm gonna add. I think when we were talking about the wheels, when you
Yeah.
were sitting me down, and I was like, I want to add some color to the wheels, and you was like, he was like, just get the stock size with the stock,
Oh
color.
yeah, you were talking about some
And I'm
big
like,
wheels.
I was like, but I'm from Atlanta. No, I was talking about the stock wheels with just a color.
Oh,
like I
right.
like color, and I'm like, but I can't. I was like, I'm from Atlanta though. I gotta add a little.
I mean, color could be cool.
But that's what I
Yeah.
did. That's what I did. The color I did, because I'm not a crazy like bright. So everything I do is gonna be kind of subtle anyway. Because I like to still try to keep it stock. Like if I didn't get the GT bumper, I don't think, and I want to add a lip, I don't think I should add a GT bumper just for the lip, because I like to see what I got to do to the original, front bumper that came with it to make it look a little more, a little
Your
better.
car looks really subtle, but it looks like mature, but not stock. Like you can tell things have been done to it, but it also looks like a gentleman's car. It's tan interior, brown color outside, nice wheels, aftermarket wheels. You're like, oh, this person changes things, but they, I think they're gold, right, or like a gold bronze. It just
Champagne.
It all works really nice.
Same champagne finish as mine.
Which looks good on your
Which
car,
looks
by the
good.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it just a little smidget.
All right, I'm going to stop.
Lava orange wheels.
Let's check the Patreon, of course, if you want to talk to our friends and ourselves. Patreon.com/The Smoking Tire Podcast. Get the show ad-free. Get it the day we record it instead of waiting Tuesday, Thursday, and get an extra episode every month, starting at just $3 a month. Lucas says, how do I like the Blaupunkt in my 328? I like it a lot. They're hard to come by. I had to buy mine out of Germany. It's the Blaupunkt Bremen is the name of it, and it's a vintage-looking radio with Bluetooth and USB ports. If you want to make it like loud, you have to add an amp. I didn't add an amp to mine, and so it's not like crazy loud, but I didn't need anything special. I just needed a thing to play podcasts and music out of, and that charges my phone, and it does all of that perfectly.
And if you around the age we are, that was a very known, like a great radio to have.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s, it was that Clarion, which they don't really make no more, and then Alpine, of course.
Alpine is the shit.
But Alpine has kind of like changed a little bit to me.
Yeah, I mean they make very high quality stuff, but what I like about this Blaupunkt is it looks like it's from the 80s.
Yeah.
Like it's actually a period look, and you can change the color of the display like to match your gauges. So like I made mine
Also,
red.
it's a new. I have to see it. It's more
It's
of a
brand
newer-
new.
Oh.
It's brand new, but it looks old.
Ooh.
It's cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's cool.
Dang.
Chris Navio, Byron, thoughts on the 911 Dakar? Have you seen it?
I have.
Off-road 911?
I was fortunate enough to go to the press for Porsche doing the LA
Yeah, you
Auto
went to
Show.
the auto show and saw it up close.
I'm a fan of it, and I'm a fan of that one in particular with all the stickers and stuff on it, because it's a great car, and you could tell like it's built right and it's beefy. But if you're gonna have the big wheels and stuff on it, you might as well add the extra flair to it, or it's gonna look awkward.
I like everything about it except that it says Rough Roads. I would take that off because the original race car said Rothmans on it, which is cigarettes, and they couldn't do that.
Yeah, it's something going on.
So there's the original one.
That's a beautiful one too. Oh,
yeah,
that is mine.
Huh?
I was say that's a beautiful shot.
That's your shot. Yeah, that's your shot. Of course, Rolling Coffee Bean on Instagram to follow Byron. I'm into it.
And Byron Bowers too. I'm gonna
also.
merge my pages one day. I'm just nervous at the moment.
Keep your brand, bro. I'm going to drive the Dakar in Morocco in January.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, I'm not. Porsche's hooking that all.
No,
up.
but I'm saying
yeah.
like that, to be able to do it in that setting.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick. It's gonna be fucking sick. I have to right after this show. I have to go get a polio vaccine to go to Morocco.
Wow.
I want to talk about can't come in without a vaccine. They won't let you in the fucking country.
Wow, polio.
Not coming back here. They won't let you into Morocco. Fuck yourself. You don't get a vaccine.
And the crazy shit they do there, it's like, you won't stop me for polio?
I know. Murray says, Byron, have you ever had Crowdwork backfire? And if so, how did you dig yourself out of the hole?
I really dig deeper into the hole and hope I come out in China somewhere. That's where. That's what I do. It depends. Like, if they don't like you, your best joke isn't going to work. So you might as well just make them hate you. That way they still talk about you when they go home. And I want them to be. I want to be the last thing on their mind before they go to sleep.
That's fucking.
And when they tell people what they did the next day, my name come up because it's all promotions.
That's funny. There's no bad advertising.
That's very funny. Bud says, thanks for being as open as you are with mental health issues. No problem, Bud. That's for you too, Byron. Justin says, okay, for a connected driving experience, would you choose a new Porsche GT4, second gen Audi R8 Plus, or 2016-ish 911 Turbo S? I would, for connected, the word connected there, if you're talking about one of those three cars has a manual gearbox, that's your most connected.
Agreed.
And he even wrote manual there. So R8 Plus, I think by the time they added a plus, there was no more stick shift available.
Yeah, the one I drove was V10 Plus, and it was paddle shift, fast, handled great,
Yeah.
super
Drive
agile, all that stuff.
The Audi R8 V10 with a stick is excellent. Really, really excellent. So if you get one of those, that would be great too. Turbo S is fucking fast, really fast. And by all, they're also great. But of the three, I would go with the GT4. And if you wanted upgrade from there, I would do the gears, which is what I have.
I would say the Turbo S because you could feel the weight difference and when the mid engine in the rear. Also, the weekend driver thing throws me off because if you like talking about hitting canyons or something like that, or going out for spirited drives, I would get one. But if you just going to the club, I would say stick to something else because it's just a waste. Just get a Camry and then park in the back.
It says weekend drivers and very occasional track day. Yeah, I still say GT4. And he wants to see the list of options I chose for my.
But he
my
drove
Spyder.
a GT4. I only drove a GTT.
S.
I only drove a Cayman. I only drove a
GT4.
Cayman T.
Oh yeah,
I haven't drove the GT4.
The GT4
Oh,
is
man.
real fast.
Yeah,
it's real fast. That's the hardtop version of my car. The list of options on my car. It's got ceramic brakes. It's got comfort seats. It's got Spyder Classic interior. It's got the Bose stereo. It's got.
custom
the rest.
door sill thing.
The rest of it, custom door sills. They're illuminated red door sills that say "cuts hair fast." That's exclusive. Silver seat belts. Alcantara steering wheel. Porsche calls it Race Tech steering wheel and shifter, and aluminum dash inserts. And I think that's it. Painted roll hoops, Frozenberry painted roll hoops, and Frozenberry painted badge.
Did you tell them how you picked Frozenberry?
I picked Frozenberry because I used to have the Cassis Red Safari 911, and Frozenberry is kind of a modern interpretation of that color. Wow. And I didn't know I necessarily wanted it ahead of time, but when I decided to get a Boxster Spyder, I learned through the configurator that Frozenberry was a free color. It's not paint to sample, so they don't charge you extra for it. And when I saw that, I remembered the conversation I had with my dealer friend who said, when he saw my Cassis car, he was like, "Was that Cassis?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "We couldn't give those fucking things away in the 80s. I drove mine for like 6 months as a demo and nobody wanted to buy it. And now there's a huge premium on Cassis cars. They're very special and they're very rare." And when I saw that Frozenberry was a free color, I was like, that's going to be what Cassis is. Like, no one's going to want this. No, there's no overlap of who wants Boxster Spyders and who wants this crazy pinkish red color. But I like it, so there's no better time to get it because in 20 years, people are going to realize when you see it in person, you go, that color is gorgeous. That's an amazing color. And so I realized that I wanted it. And I was confident enough to drive around a pink fucking Spyder. Yep. And in 20 years, people are going to be like, holy shit, we missed the boat on that color. And Porsche canceled it after 22. They only made it for 1 year.
Aha!
So you can't even get it.
You know what's cool?
Can't even get it.
Because that's how my car was. Because I was like, the dot 2 in regular silver or the brown. And then my homeboy, like,
the brown is
the
awesome.
Brown is you.
Yeah.
I know you. I seen every car you had.
Yeah.
And that's you.
That brown
that's
is awesome. Brown is great on 911s. Yeah. All of them. Was that car paint to sample from then?
Macadamia.
Yeah, it is, right? Macadamia. They made ice cream out of that one. The Porsche ice creams. I had a macadamia one. It was delicious. Last one. Greg Scott says, I want to replace my 2021 Subaru STI with a GR Corolla Circuit Edition when they become available. Are the driving characteristics similar? I love my STI in the Canyons. It's decent for a commute, but lacking in the tech department. Is the driving experience worth the switch? We will talk on our next show about the GR Corolla, but we'll answer your question now. What do you think, Zach?
I think if you're looking for a tech upgrade, you're not going to get it. I think they're really similar. They both have adjustable differentials. They both have similar power. I mean, there's nothing, especially if your STI is a 2021. There was nothing about the GR that I think is super advanced versus an STI. I mean, it's not like the multimedia screen. I mean, it has single section HVAC control. Like,
Yeah.
They're really close.
They're not selling the tech.
No.
But if you had to ask me which one I'd rather drive the Corolla.
If I was buying a new one of either, if I was cross-shopping, I'd go with Corolla. But if I already have a 1-year-old STI, I don't think he's going to get that much.
Here's the thing when it comes
over.
to tech, we have to understand. The tech is old anyway. They gotta make it. They gotta test it before they put it in every car. So by the time it releases, it's already like 5 years old or something like that.
The best you can hope for is really good phone integration. If your phone integrates well, then the car will register those upgrades with your phone if it got good CarPlay or whatever.
Well, yeah, none of mine got that.
You can get that shit.
I'm about to actually. I got something coming from England.
The Cayenne there's a really good like direct replacement for that Cayenne that looks pretty factory, but it's got CarPlay and all that shit.
Oh, I had got something to keep my radio, and then I was gonna solder something in.
Oh, it's a module
Yeah,
thing?
like a module.
Yeah.
But either or, I just don't want to deal with no most adapter for the sound.
Oh, like the fucking FM adapter things?
Yeah,
oh,
I
that
don't
shit
want to have
sucks.
to do with
No, you
that.
don't
So
want that. They have ones that like you can, because your car probably has a CD changer in the back of it or something, right? They have
this one don't.
It doesn't? Okay. They have ones if your car had a CD changer where the input for the CD changer becomes an iPhone input. But yeah.
I got them iPods, little 5th generation had the best sound.
That's what my what?
The 5th generation iPod had the best sound.
Oh really?
Yeah.
It had the best like audio processing
Yeah,
hardware?
because it was before. Once your chip is only so big, so once you start adding other like internet and color screens, they start sacrificing certain things.
Well, that's interesting.
So yeah.
Do you still have a 5th gen iPod?
I got a few of them. Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
No, there we go. I always fucking learn some new shit about Byron every time we hang out. It surprises me with something. That's awesome, man. The new special on Hulu.
Spiritual nigga.
I can't even fucking say the name of it.
Spiritual N-word. Think of N-word.
The spiritual N-word.
Daniel Van Kirk came up with that. Think of going N-word.
Oh, yeah. Oh, how about that?
He made it safe.
There's a play. There's a play on that. N-word. That would be a pretty funny license plate for you. Your INWARD would be a pretty good custom license plate for you.
It would.
Yeah. I wonder if that shit is taken.
Don't take that shit.
Don't take that shit.
Damn.
You heard it here.
It's gone.
We should try and search that and see if it's available.
That shit is gone.
That would be fucking great. Before this show airs, let's check the DMV and see if you can get that plate.
That's a funny bit about enunciation too.
Yeah. It's on Hulu. Get it now. Download it. It's fucking awesome. And of course, come to Good Vibes. Say hello to Byron and myself. Fridays up at Newcomb's Ranch. And oh, by the way, I don't know if you saw this, but I bought the sign-off bills.
You know what? I didn't see that, but you know what I saw? I saw when you was there, you posted the outside, and a sign was missing.
No. When I was there, when I saw you?
Oh. No. You posted something recently, and it was a sign. You bought that
the
that
big fucking sign. I bought the Malibu kitchen sign.
Somebody got us one of the signs.
Oh.
But they ain't going to talk about that.
We don't have to talk about that, but I know where it is.
No, yeah. Look.
Yeah, the empty frame there?
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about nothing, but I might know something about something.
You know what I mean? But when I saw that picture, that was the first thing I saw. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Wow, what you going to do with that, though?
I'm gonna put it at our new shop at Gardena. You know that sign lights up? It lights up blue. It's beautiful.
It's a pretty sign.
It's gorgeous, and I probably spent a little too much money on it. But it's a write-off, because it's art for the new shop.
Right.
And I own
You bought it from Bill?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's going to cost me...
He said he paid too much. Well, I'm like, Bill would charge you.
Bill, you want to hear something about Bill? I fucking love Bill, and I'll go to the mattresses for fucking Bill. But I went up there, and I negotiated, and he drove a hard fucking bargain. He tried to tell me, well, here's what I paid for it. I was like, in 1996, Bill, what you paid for it is no longer relevant. But I made him an offer, and he countered with a higher offer, and I went, you know what, Bill, I love you and you're worth it. I will pay your price. And then they were having their fucking sale of all kind of shit, and Hannah wanted a giant ladle, like a fucking enormous soup ladle from his kitchen. It was $20. He didn't just give it to me. He made me give him $20 for the fucking ladle.
Bill.
Like, I just gave you thousands
Bill,
of dollars.
Bill, we gotta
for
change
this sign.
you gotta change your legacy.
They gave me I don't give a fuck. I still love him, but I'm gonna give him shit for making me pay $20 for a fucking oversized soup.
But you gotta think, first off, the type of person we talking about just we was talking about like being stubborn and stuff earlier.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the type of whatever it takes to feed your family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or deal with those landlords and tenants in the area.
Yeah.
With the vibe that he's been providing that whole time.
Yeah.
Because he got to deal with a whole bunch of like when
the guy's losing his business, I'm not gonna try and take from him. I'm not a scavenger. I wanted the sign. I gave him really good money for the sign, and I'm doing it to support, and that's why I gave him $20 for the ladle. But if I was owning a business, even going out of business, and someone bought for what could only be considered a retail price to sign off my building, I'd probably throw the ladle in.
Well, just like going on that road we're not supposed to go on.
Yeah.
Only Bill knows
Yeah.
that going out of business is business. It's
Yeah.
a business.
Oh shit. That's
Shout out to
cold.
Bill. You know
That's
what I mean?
cold.
Even when he's going out of business.
Yeah. The no business.
And I thought it was just a hiatus anyway.
Well, they don't know yet for sure because he might open at the new shopping
Yeah.
center across the street, but it's not confirmed yet.
I mean, that's why I haven't discussed it.
He'll be okay. He's gonna probably do sell like baked goods and shit to other businesses in the area and off the
wow.
website. He's gonna fucking have a big business doing cookies on the internet, and you should buy him when he does that.
They're really
But
good.
In the meantime, the Malibu Kitchen sign will be hanging at Westside
One
Collector
day he'll
Car
come
Storage
back to
Gardena.
buy that from you because he'll open the new place.
Right.
And he'll want the ladle and you'll be like $20.
Double the fucking for the ladle.
$20.
He's gonna want the ladle
Inflation
back.
bill is $25.
Once a year, I get a call from the guy I bought my Lamborghini Countach from going, "You ready to sell it yet? I want it back." And I go, "Nope. You don't want to know how much I want for that motherfucker. It's a lot."
That's
Anyway.
crazy how that car went up.
Yeah.
Because a guy I know sold one. And shout out to Sergio. And,
I think I know that guy.
Oh, you think?
Didn't he buy the smart car? Isn't that the same Sergio that bought that fucking wide body smart car that I put a lien on? I think it is.
I wasn't here for this time,
No, I
but
think
it
it is.
sounds like the type of person that would buy
a wide body
Sergio
smart car.
do
Yeah,
shit
I think
like
it's
that
the same guy.
for fun.
Yeah, I think it's the same guy. I haven't met him, but I've heard good things. All right, that's our show. Get Byron special on fucking Hulu.
Hulu, Disney, if you're in Australia or New Zealand somewhere, it's on Disney. And if you can't get it, just send one of us a message. I'm pretty sure it's in the street somewhere.
Bootleg somewhere. You got dates?
Nah, man, I just need to
Chilling?
be home.
All right.
Yeah, if you see me at a car,
If you see the fucking off-road Cayenne going, brap,
Yeah.
fucking give him a wave.
that's me. But I'm really like, if you catch me at the club somewhere, I'm not posting nothing at the moment where I'm gonna be because I need to be home.
All right. Well, let's see if we can get you that license plate before this show airs. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.